These do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings on them. They may have some wind gusts over 40 miles an hour. The criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning is has to contain one or more of the following: winds in excess of 58 miles an hour or higher, hail, or a tornado. We don't have to worry about tornadoes with this. This is just all straight line wind damage. But you notice winds 58 miles an hour or higher. This storm was potentially containing wind gusts close to 80 miles an hour a little while ago. So this continues to move to the south rather quickly. So the worst of it has moved through Hanover, most of Henrico, and the bulk of the severe weather right now with this storm is in the area of Route 10, 95, and 295, and then there's 288, Brander's Bridge Road there, and Ruffin Mill Road. So these are some areas right now that are getting the worst of it. Woodpecker Road there, and towards the back edge of this, Kingsland Road, as we mentioned a little while ago. And there's Beach Road. And in terms of some landmarks there, kind of go over here. So there's the Chesterfield Power Station, Bermuda Elementary School. I know some schools are out, but you know where these are if you live down there. So a lot of schools there, and Matoga High School there. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, this has been extended farther southward. We mentioned that as the storm went farther southward, it would get extended into Dinwiddie County, Prince George County, and even Sussex County. So that is what has just happened. So this is the brand new severe thunderstorm warning. And this is Tier 1 of Tier 3. We have Tier 1, which is a severe thunderstorm warning, but then we have one that's considerable and one that's destructive. We were destructive a little while ago. It's come down to considerable, and now this new severe thunderstorm warning is a normal severe thunderstorm warning in the fact that the winds are lower, still damaging wind gusts potentially, 60 miles an hour or higher, but the part of the storm that was containing the 70, 80 mile an hour wind gusts has weakened a little bit. So this is still something to be very careful with, and some of you need to take some severe weather precautions with, but the winds not quite as strong as they were north of 64 as it came down into the metro. So as I mentioned before, it looked like that line was speeding up, and the Weather Service has it now moving south at 50 miles an hour. That's why when I was giving you a lot of the storm tracks, even though it was kind of slated at 40, I was going a little bit higher than that. So down in this area, and by the way, we've crossed over 4 o'clock, so I want to let you know you're watching CBS 6 News at 4. And we'll continue this coverage as the storm works southward through the Tri-Cities area. So this green line right here is an outflow boundary or a gust front. And this is a little gush of wind that comes out ahead of a thunderstorm. So down in Prince George County right now, you're probably getting a little gust of wind and really not much rain. But it's actually this other part here from Chester to Colonial Heights, Petersburg to Hopewell. That's where we have the severe thunderstorm warning and the damaging wind gusts. So this is moving southward now at 50 miles an hour. And due to the fact it covers so much ground, I need to widen out the radar here a little bit to draw this. So here's the leading edge of the strongest winds right there. So that going southward at 50. They're very localized sections, so I'm only doing the part of the storm that has the strongest winds. So you notice there's a large area that's a severe thunderstorm warning, but this is where the punch of the strongest winds are. That would get to Reams in about 7 to 8 minutes, Carson by 4:15, and Stony Creek by 4:23. Winds at least 58 miles an hour, potentially over 60. There's the potential for some small hail. And these storms that have been moving through the area have been producing some wind damage. In fact, just since we talked at about 3:45, we have some brand new storm reports here. So this one in Chester that came in, 1,200 power outages due to the storm just south of Bellwood. It's just that little chunk of Chesterfield County, 1,200 power outages. And then here, multiple trees down, Richmond Highway and Terminal Avenue. So that was about 12 minutes ago, 13 minutes ago. Richmond Highway and Terminal Avenue. That was in the city of Richmond. And Again, I mentioned before, we had numerous trees and wires down within the city itself. We're going to stay with it just a little while longer as it goes down the Tri-Cities, and then we'll go to our normal, regular scheduled 4 p.m. newscast, bring in Julie and Cheryl, who I'm excited to see. And they're the severe storms now. We're essentially in the Tri-Cities now. We're moving into southern Chesterfield County. We're in the Tri-Cities. So Colonial Heights, Petersburg. The crux of it hasn't really hit Hopewell. It's just west of Hopewell, but essentially Chester down to Colonial Heights and Petersburg. And we're talking about, all those elementary schools that are down there. So there's Virginia State University right there. There's the Colonial Heights Health Department. So those of you who live in those areas know these landmarks. Southside Regional Medical Center, Lee Memorial Park. So trying to look at Chesterfield Community High School. There's Matoka High School and Points of Rock Park. So instead of showing you some of the roads down there, those are some of the landmarks that those of you that live in the area know probably pretty well. Currently looking at winds potentially over 60 miles an hour in this area, and the severe thunderstorm warning continues. This one that's down in that area is for Colonial Heights, Hopewell, Petersburg, Prince George County, northwestern Sussex, Dinwiddie County, and southeastern Amelia County. That goes until 4:30, so 26 minutes from now. And the storm is moving to the south at 50 miles an hour. The main threat, damaging wind gusts, 60 miles an hour or higher, but also some nickel-sized hail as well. We've been really focused on the winds, rightly so, but also putting down torrential rainfall. A lot more humid today, and the atmosphere is just tapping into that moisture like a saturated sponge. So we're talking about torrential rainfall, like the point like you can't even see when you drive with wipers on. We're looking at some of the Sky Tracker cams we have. I think that one in the lower left-hand corner, that's our Old Town Petersburg camera. So you can see the storm hitting that area now. So on the right-hand side of the screen, we have the radar showing you where the severe thunderstorm is now. Bottom left-hand corner of the screen, we have the Petersburg camera. Lower right-hand corner of the screen is our QR code. Scan that, that'll take you to the CBS 6 Weather Authority app and get you all the pertinent information. And I mentioned this before, but if you're just joining us, if you live down in this area or points south of this area, and you have a smartphone, you can watch this on WTVR.com. Once you get on our website, upper right-hand corner, it says Watch Live. So if you lose your cable or satellite or you lose power, you can still watch us. If you still have power, you may want to be charging your devices now because we've had a lot of power outages thanks to this cluster of thunderstorms that's been moving southward. Just got a brand new radar scan. It has the front of the line right now moving down farther past the Tri-Cities, and it is getting close towards Johnson Road. This is 95, and then 295 there, and then 85. So we're kind of at the junction of 85 and 95 here in the Petersburg area as this system tracks southward at about 50 miles an hour. Widespread wind damage potentially with this from Matoka High School, VSU, down through Petersburg. And just jog back up a little bit here. Still have some really strong wind gusts from about Chester down to Colonial Heights as well. So pretty much Chester, Colonial Heights, Petersburg, down to right here near 460. That's where a lot of the stronger winds are now. So there's Vaughan Road and Halifax Road. I want to give you some of these roads here because this is kind of the leading edge of where these winds are. And I'm just looking to see, we've had a lot of reports of damaging winds, trees down, power outages down, and if the control room, if you have updated power outages, just throw the full screen up if it's updated at whatever point. I'll just go with it whenever you throw it up. So there's the storm moving south at 50 miles an hour. And there's our updated power outages, courtesy of Dominion Energy. Hanover County, let's just round up, about 15,000. Henrico, almost 9,300. City of Richmond itself, about 4,100, and Chesterfield around 1,225 in terms of the current power outages. And that's just a sampling from the metro. So if you add all that up, we're talking roughly 30,000 power outages. And as I mentioned before, we've had some clusters of power outages of over 1,000 or two in just a short amount of time. Just got this in right now from National Weather Service, Ettrick, near the city of Petersburg, 4,000 power outages due to the storm in Petersburg. And that time was estimated from radar from 3:58. So in the last 10 minutes, we've had 4,000, or the time leading up to 3:58, I should say, over 4,000 power outages there, just due to the storm coming down. This storm has weakened a little bit. It is still a nasty, severe thunderstorm, but the wind gusts now potentially about 58, 65 miles an hour before, when it was about 70 to 80. So this has weakened a little bit, but we're still talking about this punch of velocity here, where you see kind of like this whitish blue here, right between Colonial Heights and Petersburg. These are measured just a little bit off the ground here. So we're looking at 55, 60, 65 mile an hour winds. So this is severe thunderstorm criteria. Also have been dealing with some hail as well in that area. So some larger hail just west of 95 and just northwest of 85 in Colonial and Petersburg there. Colonial Heights and Petersburg, excuse me. So this is where the severe thunderstorm warning is now. And the severe thunderstorm is just about to move into Lake Chesdin and between Lake Chesdin and Petersburg. So if you're down in this area and you're near 460, if you live on River Road down there, Hickory Road, this is where the storm is now. Moving South Park Drive there. And it looks like the heaviest of this is actually just going to skirt to the west of Hopewell and the city of Prince George. Pretty darn close, but it's going to skirt just to the west of that. So the severe thunderstorm now is down in the Tri-Cities, the back edge of it up by Chester and by 288 there. So this is now down in the Tri-Cities. And again, this has had the history of producing over 4,000 power outages in a short amount of time in the city of Petersburg. So that report from Petersburg came in at 3:58. So let's jog the radar to 3:58. So that's when the storm, the gust front had come through. That's this green line here towards the south, the outflow boundary. And then this was the beginning part of the severe thunderstorm. So 4,000 power outages just from that initial edge of those winds. So actually maybe a little bit higher than that now. And we will get further updated power reports as well. So the severe thunderstorm warning right now continues. It's for the Tri-Cities, a little bit of Chesterfield County, Dinwiddie, and a little bit of Prince George and Sussex County. And I'm going to wrap this up in about the next minute or so. We'll go to our normal 4 o'clock news. But this is where the severe thunderstorm warning is now. It has the history of producing damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour. It is weakening slightly as it tracks southward, but is heading towards Dinwiddie and Stony Creek. I will continue to give you some weather updates coming up over the rest of our 4 o'clock news, and we'll continue with the crawl at the bottom of the screen. But severe thunderstorm warning right now for the Tri-Cities heading down towards Dinwiddie and Stony Creek. So I want to hand it over now to Julie Bragg and Cheryl Miller. Hi, guys.
Working for you. CBS 6 News at 4 starts with a breaking news alert.
And Mike Stone keeping us posted as strong storms move through the Richmond area this afternoon. This is a live look from our Storm Rider 6. Right now, we're still under a severe thunderstorm warning. Thanks so much for joining us for the CBS 6 News at 4. I'm Cheryl Miller.
And I'm Julie Bragg. The rain is coming down, the winds are out there, and we could continue to see strong storms as the evening goes on. CBS 6 meteorologist Mike Stone working hard in the Weather Center, and he has the very latest for us. Mike.
Hey, we still have one severe thunderstorm warning that we're dealing with, and that is for the Tri-Cities down towards Stony Creek. This severe thunderstorm warning started up north of Fredericksburg just a little while ago and has tracked down through the Richmond metro area. But here's where the warning is now. It's where this box is that you see here on your screen, and that includes the Tri-Cities and down towards Dinwiddie and Sussex County. Right now, the wind gusts are in the upper 50s and low to mid 60s in terms of miles per hour, about 58 to 65 miles an hour. Has had the history of producing some wind gusts around 80 though, and showing you here these are all the storm reports from just the last hour. And you notice, very focused, right down the I-95 corridor. But in these situations, we've been talking about widespread power outages and also trees down, wires down. And going a little bit farther northward, we have more thunderstorms here. And notice there's another cluster here west of D.C. and far northwestern Virginia. Those boxes there show the severe thunderstorm warnings in that part of the state. And there's also one near Harrisonburg tracking to the southeast. It's looking like some of these stronger storms that are coming in from northern Virginia maybe focused more west of I-95. But for all of us, we remain in a severe thunderstorm watch until later on this evening. And that pretty much includes all the CBS 6 viewing area with the exception of parts of the northern neck over towards the coast. So severe thunderstorm watch for everyone going into this evening. In fact, that lasts as we go towards about 10 o'clock tonight.